Yes.
Tom, I was thinking the other night, trying to figure it all out, as we do.
I spent a lot of nights like that too.
Well, it dawned on me, or perhaps it was the LCS, that the search for big truth might just never end. And with that in mind, I was wondering if you had any unanswered questions for yourself that you still search for, if any.
Well, I keep learning all the time. I keep finding out new things all the time. It's an unending unfoldment for me. Like I say, I published these books. I knew that consciousness was fundamental and that the physical was not, and the physical was derived, but I really didn't know how to do physics with consciousness. I wasn't any better than Einstein and the rest of them who couldn't figure out how to do physics with consciousness. But then I got the aha moment and realized that the virtual reality concepts and the concepts of consciousness can do physics. And that kind of was, at least 2 years after I had published the books. So all of that is, recent. And that's grown. At first, all I realized was that virtual reality explained quantum mechanics. And then I started looking around, well, what else can I explain? This is exciting, and then I saw that it explained relativity. C is a constant. That's what relativity is based on. That's the most fundamental assumption in relativity. Relativity is then built off of that, and it expands off of that one fact, that the speed of light is a constant. See, and that's kind of an amazing thing because no other thing that moves has that property. Not only does it always go the speed of light, but everything else, speeds are additive. I'm in a car, I'm going 10 miles an hour, I reach out the window with a ball and I throw the ball in the direction the car's moving at 10 miles an hour, and the ball is now moving at 20 miles an hour relative to the ground. Velocities add. Everything in this reality, the velocities add. Basic physics say they have to add. Take this velocity, add another velocity to it. The two together are bigger than the one. Not so with light. Doesn't matter how fast your light source is going. When a photon leaves that light source, it goes at the speed c, speed of light. Doesn't matter whether the light source is going in the same direction or actually going backwards, you see. Whereas in the car, if the car is going backwards at 10 miles an hour and I throw the ball forwards at 10 miles an hour, the ball just drops straight down to the ground. It's got a zero velocity according to the ground. You can have a light source going very, very fast backwards and the speed of the light is still the same at c. It's always c. See, that is irrational compared to what we see here. So that's the source of relativity, and that's the big mystery there. But every virtual reality has a speed limit. The speed limit is 1 pixel of distance for 1 pixel of time. You've got a time loop. Every delta t is what makes the thing iterate, makes it dynamic, and your smallest space that you can go is a pixel of distance. Okay, the pixel of distance divided by the pixel of time is your speed limit. There's no way you can move through that virtual reality any faster than getting 1 pixel of distance for every pixel of time. Every time the thing recomputes, it moves the piece 1 unit. Now there is one way you could go faster, but that's called teleporting. You'd leave this spot, disappear, and come back at this spot. Well, that makes a very non-uniform, non-consistent reality where things just pop in and out of existence all over the place. So that wouldn't be a good schoolhouse. It's not consistent enough. You wouldn't have good feedback. Consistency is required for entities to learn. So it needs to be no more than 1 delta x for every delta t. So the World of Warcraft has a speed limit where nothing can move through the World of Warcraft any faster than that. And so do we. And if you take the Planck length for the delta x and the Planck time for the delta t, and you divide those, you get the speed of light. Simple. Every virtual reality has a speed limit. Big mystery in relativity solved, you see. So I thought that up probably 3 or 4 months after I got quantum mechanics. Things just keep building, and I can't say weekly I learn something new, but new things pop up all the time, new understandings. And especially what I look for is new ways of explaining things. How can I put it in terms that make sense that people can get it? And I come up with that all the time. So yeah, learning goes on. And it's very unusual for somebody to say, here's something I don't know and I'm going to work on it. Because if you don't know it, you probably don't know that you need to work on it. You don't know what you don't know. And all of your ignorance is mostly invisible because you don't know what you don't know. So I'm hoping I'll figure out more things as time goes by. Learning goes on. You don't get to an end of that. There's always something else to explain.
It's good to know.
Tom,